Adapt or die is what I like to say because I train adaptability, but I do it with improv. But there's other people who do the same thing, and I am so glad we have met. May I introduce you to Elina. Hello, Elina.
Hi, good to see you.
Elena, how did you get into the world of adaptability? Because I know I fell in it through the Applied Improv Network where they told us, hey, this is the future. And then COVID came. So it is what we need to be training people in how to adapt, to be agile, to be resilient, how to change, how to innovate. How did you fall into training people to be adaptive?
Well, the same way like you did,
Cool.
actually. Yeah, my journal as a AQ practitioner started with AI, but not the AI that you might think, but what you just said, applied improv. And I actually started working as an applied improv trainer 4 years ago. I thought I was leaving my marketing job, my digital marketing job, and thinking that, oh, finally, I will do something outside, away from computer, with people, and somebody else will tell me what to do, because the plan was that the business owner um, who led the applied improv to Latvia, which is the country that I'm from, the idea was that she will teach me everything I need to know, and she will write the programs, and I will just lead the workshops so from those programs. But then I led my first workshop on site, so to speak. I went home, I opened the news, and the news said, well, okay, it's a lockdown starting from
Ah,
tomorrow. So
ah,
all my plans, they were just shattered away.
mm,
I together with the leader and also another colleague of mine, we all needed to put our heads together. And 5 weeks later, I created my first program, and it was not really popular, but it had great results. I created it because I saw that my reaction to the pandemic was, okay, another crisis. So what should we do? And then I realized that not a lot of people have the same reaction to the pandemic. And I thought, oh, well, maybe the first time I can use this experience that I have working in digital marketing with small businesses. I thought that I am not really successful in anything because it's all chaos all the time, and you don't know really what affects what, and you're just solving a lot of fires all the time. But then I realized that experience had taught me this attitude and improv as well. So
mm,
I put together a training program for what I thought is creativity.
mhm,
I associated it with creating ideas, having ideas, being open to create ideas. So it was my surprise that people, when they graduated from the program, they mentioned adaptability more than
ah,
creativity.
oh,
Yeah.
cool.
They said that this helped them adapt. So
Mm,
I just got curious whether it's something that I can actually learn more.
mhm,
And
mhm,
then
mhm.
I ran into AQ, and that's how I'm here, actually. Yeah.
So AQ is the assessment coaching program that her and I met in, and it's adaptability, so we can measure adaptability. Do you want to tell us what your favorite part of the? I know there's like 15 things we measure, but there's 5 on character, guys. So you're kind of bornish with some of these 5, and then there's 5 on skills that you can learn that Elena and I train. So, what's your favorite adaptability game, or the one that you love to see emerge in people after your training, or the one that you're like, ah, this one feels so fun? Resilience, grit, perhaps.
Well,
Mine's
yeah, my personal favorite subjectively 100% is mental flexibility,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
because that was the thing that I started training
Mm,
people in without knowing it. And
mhm.
for those who are wondering what is mental flexibility,
They
uh,
are. I can hear them.
let's let's say the official AQ community's definition. So it's ability to work with competing demands and also experiment and test new solutions.
Mm,
And in practical way, it looks like, I think we all have had this situation where we need to find a really good, high quality solution yesterday and cheaply. Mental flexibility is the skill that actually helps you in a practical way to find that solution, where most of people think that it's impossible. So you're the one who does it, and then other ones get angry and say that you cheated in some way. Right?
Okay. The clever. Well, fast. It's like making a good decision under options without huge regret, with like this level of confidence that you did make a good decision. If not, you'll fix it. So
Right.
yeah, like clever, confident, those people are the cheaters usually, the clever, confident people, because they figure out how to play the game. And the game of life is adapt or die. If you don't as an entrepreneur, I started my business like the same time as you, because I was
Oh,
teaching English, and all of my students, adults and kids and businesses, all stopped the same day. They came back, most of them, but at that point I was like, oh, now I can be a global trainer. Because I
right.
was like, oh, I'm not going to be a trainer in Barcelona. They pay crap. I don't speak Spanish. They're not going to choose me over a local. It's just, that's our reality there. We all are actors or English teachers, or actors or English teachers. And then I could give workshops around the world, and my career just exploded. So it's like, thank God for COVID in my life. It was also hell. As you know, raising a business in COVID was not easy. But here we are 4 years later, huh?
Yeah. It's interesting story, actually, how that I didn't know that you started right at the pandemic, because we are connected on LinkedIn, and it just seems that you have done this for a long, long time.
Oh, well, that is good marketing.
Right.
Now, I've been teaching improv for years and years and years before, but I would just do it in local groups, and I would use it in my workshops, but I would never advertise it. So this is a question too for us. So all my friends that are going to watch this, and your friends are, well, I don't know about your friends. My friends are facilitators and trainers, and most of them are in the world that you and I are in, because we have things in common. And I don't call what I do, like, I use improv and clown and gestalt therapy. Like, that's what I'm using, but I don't tell it because I don't want to scare the crap out of people. So I tell them that we use the skills of adaptability. I hope none of my clients are watching, because that's all I did with your people, and they loved it, but I didn't want to scare them. So how do you deal with people being like, oh, improv, making things up on the spot? Oh my gosh, adapting. I'm not good at adapting. I'm not creative. Oh, I don't have mental flexibility. I can't do this. Like a human response to what we're offering.
Well, I'm still in the testing mode, I have to say. I am simply talking to people. That would be my first recommendation, to talk to people. And as improvisers or facilitators, my guess is that you are good in observing people and their reactions. So just test different ways you speak about the thing that you're doing, and then see which lights the most fire in those people's eyes and the most interest. As what I have noticed now, that 2 years ago, when I told people about AQ, they were like, what? I could see that the information is going like that over them and somewhere far away. But now, whenever I tell about AQ, that AQ is a thing that exists, that you can actually improve your adaptability, somehow it clicks with people. So I'm not really active right now
Mm-hmm.
on the internet, but if I would, then I
Are you
would
not
use.
active because you're getting married and you're busy?
Yes. I'm. That's also one thing that is happening in a few weeks. I'm getting married, and
Woo!
woohoo! I
That's wonderful.
I got engaged in Spain, which is super exciting.
Ah, uh, are you marrying a man?
Yes.
Okay, so he's like walking in Barcelona in the sun or in wherever it is, and he just proposed because the air was so romantic and lovely. He just improvised, or did he plan it? Did he have a ring? Did he know what he was going to say? What kind of an improvising guy do you have?
Well, we met at Improv, so he is.
Ah,
Yeah.
lucky you.
Oh yeah, it was 10 years ago, and it was our 10-year anniversary, actually. I was
Oh,
not expecting to be engaged. We were just having a trip to Valencia, and he had the ring with him,
mhm.
and he was searching for the right moment. So it was half improvised.
Wow.
And then we went outside of Valencia,
Yeah.
and in the mountains we had a hike, and it started and ended at the specific lake where,
Oh,
as our guide told us, there was this one king who ruled there one time in the history, and he created this lake artificially to wash his wives into. So my now fiance heard this story and thought, okay, well, that is the best sign I could get. So he actually proposed while we were in the lake, uh, at the moment when I did not expect it to
you
happen.
were swimming in the lake
Yes,
and
we
he
were.
had it in his pocket?
Yeah, I that's how I get really surprised. So for the first minutes, my reaction was, okay, you're showing me this ring, so who lost it? Like, we should go to those women and ask if
Yeah.
that's the ring. I didn't believe he's actually proposing. So, but then he said that he was holding it in his hand.
In hand. Ooh, that makes me nervous. A man going into water with something expensive. My boyfriend, who is not an improviser, goes swimming with his wallet, and then we spend an hour looking for it in the ocean. And then 6 months later, it gets mailed to him because someone found it, probably in the north of Africa, because it floated that way, and mailed it back to him. So
What? No way.
yeah, so people are good. So, I just don't trust men taking valuable things into water, like babies' rings or their wallets.
So you kindly gifted him like a bracelet or something around his neck to
God, I'd be
keep him.
That's I never thought about that. I just thought it was hopeless. Oh, okay. Let's see, that's the attitude. Trying to find a solution to something. That's the difference. Nice. Well, you are going to be with us, and you're going to be leading a workshop. What are you most excited about? That people who aren't in our world, poor them, who aren't in our world, who don't know about like the AQ, the improv, the agility, the flexibility of the mind, and doing it in a really fun way. What are you most excited about to show them in the open space at that where we have the unconference, whoever's not familiar at the top, see up here, we have a festival coming up, and Elena's going to be one of our speakers.
So at first, for anybody who's watching, please come. I'm yesterday I felt a little shameful that I haven't watched a lot of your interviews. So I did watch some of them.
Okay.
And I'm so excited to meet those people. Oh my God. Yeah, that's one thing. And to reply to your question, what I'm most excited about, I can reply with two answers. One is for the existing applied improv trainers or facilitators, and the other one is for the civilians.
Those poor suckers.
Yeah, so let's start with the civilians. The thing that people say in the testimonials after most of my workshops or training programs is that it is the first step is really important to understand that you are able to improve your adaptability. And that workshop that I have in mind has really, really extremely simple exercises that you can do at your home after the workshop. You
Really?
can continue training and you will see that you improve those skills.
Mhm.
Unless you are at really high stress
Mhm.
environment at the edge
Mhm.
of burnout, then please do everything to stop this at first. But if you are in like a manageable amount of stress, then it will work. At
Mhm.
least that's my experience, what my experience says. And also it helps to move from point zero, where you know nothing, to one. And that movement is often the most revealing and exciting, when you learn that, oh, actually, for example, in hockey, you are from Canada, right? I'm from Latvia. Both
Mm.
countries are hockey, ice
Okay.
hockey. So when you learn to skate the first time, that's the biggest jump
Mhm.
in hockey. Or when you learn,
Baseball.
yes, yeah. So that's what my workshop will do for civilians. And then for applied improv trainers or facilitators, it could be, I cannot promise that, but it could be also a great way how to look at what you are doing from a new angle and understand how these simple techniques may work in your own work, whatever you do. Because so as I have experienced, yes, we do the same thing, right? We both do improv. We both know AQ, but still we are working in completely different ways. And the moments when we come together and learn from each other are the best.
Yeah. Were you at the Applied Improvisation Conference in Prague?
No, I wasn't.
Mm.
I really wanted to go, but I had to prepare for my wedding, and yeah, so I'm.
Schmedding. So, guys, from this group, we're going to have Caroline Dream. She's going to be doing a clown workshop. She's part of the Applied Improvisation Network, and in which people who do improv apply it to the bigger world instead of just stage. And tonight we are having an interview. Tonight, you're way too early in the morning. You won't be awake at 4 a.m. But we are having an interview with Cale Bain in Australia, the improv way. And so the improv way, it's like it's a yes and attitude that people are going to bring to this unconference that we're having in October. It's like an attitude of collaboration, an attitude of creativity, an attitude of like, let's see where this goes. And it goes to the beach, it goes to a clown workshop, it goes to a marry yourself. You're going to marry yourself before you no, you're going to be married by then.
Yes.
Okay. I should ask people to bring fake rings. That's going to be hilarious. Oh, I had an idea. Okay, great. Great.
Propose to yourself rings. Propose to yourself rings.
Oh my gosh, we should propose to ourselves and then marry. Oh God, this is gonna be so fun. Okay, so guys, you can join Elena and I at the Change Days. It's the 16th edition of Change Days. She's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Caroline's gonna be there. David Rigby is from that community as well. Manolo, he's from that community. He does Play 14 stuff. He's going doing a play workshop. And then in the rest of the list, no, they are civilians. So the five of us have to in what's that word called? Infect them with the desire to add more yes and into their sessions as facilitators.
Right. And what I also really love about improv is that it works with behavior, right? Yesterday or a couple of days before, you had this interview with Jan, maybe. Do I remember his name correctly?
Yes, yesterday.
Yeah, and you said that you want to focus on habits, which is the change of behavior. And improv, the method of improv is behavior. And that's why I think it's one of the strongest to work with, because you actually work with the behavior of people. For example, the celebration of mistakes, it's also one way how your brain unlearns through behavior that you can actually have another new alternative reaction to mistakes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my, is it okay at your house? Oh, it's your phone.
In Canada, unfortunately, if a child is missing, they send that noise to every human in the country to look out for a missing child.
Oh wow.
It wakes you up. That just woke up every single person in the country. Now everyone's awake and they can catch the last minute of the show. So you're so right. Oh, and Jan is one of our main speakers, and he's talking about introverted facilitation. So we include them. And I met him at the Applied Improvisation Network too. So there's 6 of us. And you're so right. I didn't even realize that. I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you. Behavior change. There's a game called New Choice. You know it?
Yes.
Yeah. So literally, people, she says something. Can you say do you want to play it for a quick second?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say to her, she's going to talk, and I'm going to say new choice, and she's going to change the last part of her sentence as she continues her monologue of story. Yeah.
Okay. let's talk about adaptability for a moment.
Oh my gosh. Victim, suspect, the kind of car in a Tesla. So which means
Oh,
in Quebec, that's like 6 hours away.
oh
Okay.
my goodness. So we have the story, and then there's the parallel story of you know action
Um,
story happening. I let fingers crossed that they will find the
yeah. Well,
child.
let's do the story on us chasing down this criminal actually instead of adaptability. So you're the
Oh, okay.
policeman and you're telling the story of how you caught this guy in the Tesla who did something bad. And I'm going to say new choice and you're going to change the last 4 words of the sentence.
Okay. So it was like a fun Monday morning in Quebec. I was eating my donut,
New
and
choice.
I was eating my banana, which I usually eat in the Tuesday morning, and I got this alarm in my phone, and I realized that there's this suspect that I have to find. So I slowly tried to drive my car
New
out.
choice.
I jumped into my seat one more time because
New
I was still
choice.
sitting. I was flying with a plane. I jumped into the plane and I started looking down on the streets to search for the Tesla that was the criminal driving with, and I noticed it right at the moment when I uh, got into the sky. So I flew down into the criminal, and I used my rapport. Do you say rapport in English?
New choice. No, I don't know.
I used my diaphragm to be really loud, and I said, "Please stop, or I will shoot."
New choice.
I said, "Please stop, or I will throw my banana at you." And then, of course, he didn't stop.
Mm.
He was a criminal. He continued driving, and I chased him. And he was really a smart one, so he chose to drive among high buildings so that
And
I wouldn't be able to fly with plane. So he drove into, and I almost lost him. But then I decided to jump out of the plane.
new choice.
I decided to fly in the diagonal way to show off my skills a bit. I knew that my girlfriend will be watching from the TV. So I flew diagonally, and then I flew in front of the guy, so he had to stop, and I catched him.
Oh, wasn't that fun, guys?
Yeah,
And you see, she had to do mental flexibility. She had to think of a new scenario. And mostly the second time she said it, it made me laugh because humor comes from surprise. And the first time we think of something, it's kind of normal and socially acceptable. And the second time we have to think of something, it gets a little bit not so normal and it becomes sideways or throwing a banana at a criminal. And that's why humor helps you create new behaviors. And that's why improv is so successful for our clients.
I
Ta-da.
can only agree to that. And the power of when the person actually experiences that, oh my God, I can actually do this exercise, the new choice or whatever exercise it might be. And then they realize that they have ideas, that they
Mm,
should express them, and that gives them the extra courage to do the same in their work, which is
mm.
amazing.
That was fun. Elena,
Yeah.
thank you. I look forward to hearing that your wedding went well. And then after that went well, you as a happy new bride come down to Barcelona and do the stuff with all of our friends. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed this
Yeah.
conversation, and see you.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye.